This question again, once again, we ask that we should solve for x. Log 3 base x plus log x base 3 is equal to 5 over 2. Now, remember what I told you, that before solving any logarithmic equation, we must make sure that the bases are the same throughout. But here I'm having base x, here I'm having base 3. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to use what I call change of base. That is one of the law of logarithm that says change of base. It's either I change this first term here to base 3, or I change this second term here to base x. Now, let's change this now to base x. Meaning from here, solution, I'm going to have log 3 base x plus. Now remember, I want the change of base. I want to change this base to base x from the law of logarithm. Meaning I'm going to have log x base x all upon log 3 base x. Which is now equal to 5 over 2. Now from here, I'm having log 3 base x plus. Now remember from your law of logarithm that the log of a number to the same base is 1. Meaning I'm going to have 1 over log 3 base x is now equal to 5 over 2. Now, this is where some students find it very difficult to continue solving. Now, for me to make this expression look simple, look at, I have log 3 base x plus, I also have log 3 base x. What I will do is I will say let log 3 base x be equal to p. To simplify my work, I can solve in this form, but for those of you that are learning maths for the first time, simplify it to make it easier. That means in place of log 3 base x, I'm going to substitute the value p, meaning I'm going to have p plus 1 over p is equal to 5 over 2. Now, look at this equation here on this board. From here, I will multiply through by p because I want to cancel out these denominators. First, multiply by p, or we can simply multiply throughout by 2p. But let's start out with p first, so that this p here and the denominator here will be erased. Multiply out, multiply through, multiply through. By p, meaning p times p will give me p squared plus 1, because if I should multiply each term by p, I'm going to have 1 times p. This is p. P times p is p squared plus p cancels out p, gives me 1. This is the 1. It's now equal to also times p. Also, it's now equal to 5p over 2. For my final answer, I still have a fraction on the right hand side. I want to eliminate this denominator of this fraction. I'll simply also do the same thing, multiply through by 2, meaning multiply through by 2, meaning I'm going to multiply each term by 2. 2 times p squared will give me 2p squared plus 2 times 1 is 2, is now equal to 5p, because if I should multiply this by 2, 2 cancels out 2. I now have a linear equation. And I have a linear equation. Now, let me move this 5p to the left hand side. Meaning I'm going to have 2p squared. It is positive here. It's positive, this equality changes to negative. Minus 5p plus 2 is now equal to 0. Now, this is now the general form of a quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, and c are constants, and where a, b are terms in x, and the highest power of x there is 2. Now, the highest power of this first term here is 2. The second variable, which is p, the power here is 1, and this is the constant. Now, we now solve this quadratic equation here. Now, from here now, 2p squared minus 5p plus 2 is equal to 0. Now, remember when we are solving quadratic equation by factorization, I told you that for us to solve this, use this first term, multiply this last term. Meaning you're going to have 2p squared multiplied by 2, that is plus 2, because here also is positive. Plus times plus is plus. 2 times 2 is 4. Then we have this p squared. Now we are now left with this middle term, which is minus 5p. Now remember, I told you we first look for two numbers. If we should multiply it, it should give us plus 4p squared. And when we subtract it, it should give us minus 5p. And those two terms are minus 4p and minus p. Now, let's multiply them first to see whether it will give us this plus 4p squared. Minus times minus is plus. 4p times p will give us 4p squared, because p times p is p squared. Now, let's subtract them. Let's see whether it should give us this minus 5p. Minus 4p minus p. Minus 4p minus p is minus 5p. So, in place of this minus 5p, I will substitute in minus 4p and minus p. Meaning, we're going to have 2p squared minus 4p minus p plus 2 is now equal to 0. Now I'm going to segregate them in a bracket. Meaning I'm going to have 2p squared minus 4p. Enclose them in a bracket. This minus sign is out. Open up the bracket. P. Now this is where some students make some mistake. This is positive here. Please, due to you are encasing it in a bracket, the sign will change. I'm going to have minus 2 is equal to 0. There's no alteration here, because minus times p should give me minus p. Minus times minus is plus. Then this 2 is here. Remember, whenever you are solving quadratic equation by factorization, whatever sign you have in this bracket must be the same sign you also have in this bracket. Whenever your sign changes, it shows that you are wrong or the question itself is wrong. Now, there are common terms here. What are the common factors here? The common factor of 2p squared minus 4p is 2p. Meaning I'm going to have 2p. Open up this bracket. 2p squared divided by 2p will give me p. Because 2p squared is the same thing as 2 times p times p divided by this 2p. P cancels out p. 2 cancels out 2. I'm left with p minus 4p divided by 2p. 4p divided by 2p. P cancels out p. 2 here is 2. 2 here is 1. So I'm left with 2. And I have 2 here. Close the bracket. Minus. What is the factor of these two terms here? The common factor is 1. And I'm going to have 1, open bracket, p minus 2 is now equal to 0. Remember, whenever you are solving quadratic equation by factorization, whatever thing you have in this bracket must be the same thing you have in this bracket. I'm having p minus 2, I'm also having p minus 2 here. Let's factor out 1. So it shows that from here, we're going to have 2p, this 2p minus 1, multiplied by pick one of the p minus 2. P minus 2 is equal to 0. We will now say either 2p minus 1 is equal to 0, which, let this, because we want to find the value for p, let this minus 1 cross this equality sign. We want to have 2p is now equal to 1. Divide both sides by 2. If you divide both sides by 2, we are going to have p is now equal to 1 over 2. Now, next is this. Or p minus 2 is equal to 0, where p is now equal to this minus 2 moves over, changes to positive, as p is now equal to 2. But this is not our final answer, because we say therefore p is equal to 1 over 2 or 2. But this is not our final answer, because we said that but recall that log 3 base x is equal to p. Now, we will now say when p is equal to the first solution for p, which the first solution for p is 1 over 2. When p is equal to 1 over 2, meaning from here, we're going to have log 3 base x is now equal to 1 over 2. Now, recall from the definition of logarithm, I said the logarithm of a number n to a given base is that which the base will be raised to a certain power to equal this number. Meaning, this base here will be used to raise this 1 over 2. Meaning, I'm going to have x raised to power 1 over 2 is now equal to 3. But this is not my final answer, because here is the square root of x. It's not up to 1, it's not up to a full x. I want to make it a 10. What do? I will square both sides by. I will square both sides. When I square both sides, I will now have x on its own, meaning squaring both sides. If I square both sides, I'm going to have x raised to power 2 multiplied by 2 is now equal to 3 raised to power 2. I have, remember, whatever thing you do on the left hand side, you must also do it to the right hand side. Now, 2 cancels out 2. Now, this x now is not standing on its own. X is now equal to 3 raised to power 2 is 9. This is the first solution for x. We now say when p is equal to 2. So we have log 3 base x is equal to 2. From here, the same thing. X raised to power 2 is equal to 3. I'm having double x because this is the same thing as you say x times x. But we want to just find the value for just one x. We're not looking for the value for 2x. We're looking for the value for 1x. So what will I do here? Because watch, x squared. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Taking square root of both sides. Taking square roots of both sides. Meaning I'm going to have x raised to power 2 times 1 over 2 is now equal to 3 raised to power 1 over 2. 2 cancels out 2. I'm now left with 1x now, which is x is now equal to the square root of 3. Now say therefore, x is equal to 9 or root 3. So this is my final answer. I hope this video is helpful to you. Hope to see you again in my next video. Please share, subscribe, and follow. Thanks.